The economy is a dense, oftentimes difficult to understand concept, with indeterminate amount of nuances and exceptions. However, there is one person many people have held responsible for the state of the economy: the President. America's current President, Donald J. Trump, has been credited by some for the resurgence of the economy. Indeed, the economy is doing remarkably well as of late. Record-breaking numbers in both the GDP and stock market seem to indicate a success on the side of Trump. However, others said they simply inherited a good economy from the Obama administration, and that his policies have little to no effect. Others still argue that the president has little to no power over the economy, and that it is merely market forces that dictate economic health. This is not the first time the issue has been addressed either. During every presidency, the power of the president over the economy has always been debated, whether positively, negatively, or neither. Today we will take a look into the issue and see how much power the president really has.
Ever since President Trump took office in 2016, economic growth has accelerated greatly. While some are saying that the growing economy is a continuation of Obama's economy, Trump's strategy of cutting taxes, deregulating, and rolling back Obama-era policies is what really is helping the economy grow even more. The growth rate of GDP was decelerating in Obama's last year, going from 2.3% in quarter 2 to 1.9% in quarter 3, and 1.8% in quarter 4 of 2016. Under Trump, GDP growth has averaged about 2.9%. Last quarter, it was 4.2%, and for the first time in 12 years, it was higher than the unemployment rate, which is 3.9%. In terms of unemployment, in Obama's last year, the unemployment rate remained basically unchanged. It was 4.9% in January 2016 and 4.8% when Trump took office in January 2017. Now it's down to 3.9%. Black unemployment was at 5.9% in May, which is the lowest ever recorded, and woman unemployment is at the lowest rate in 65 years. All the numbers indicate overwhelming success of President Trump's economic policies. The stock market was also stuck the year before the 2016 elections, but the Dow is up by 45% since then. This is one of Trump's biggest achievements because the tax cut stimulated the stock market and will lead to more investment and higher paying jobs.
And how has the private sector reacted to changes in policy?
Companies are investing much more in buildings, computers, and all kinds of other capital goods than they were in the last 2 years of the Obama administration due to Trump's cut in the corporate tax. More than 70 financial institutions, airlines, AT&T have announced employee bonuses or raises. Fiat Chrysler announced a $1 billion investment to build Ram trucks near Detroit, currently made in Mexico. Even Walmart hiked its minimum wage. Cutting corporate taxes works.
Thank you so much for meeting with us today, Mr. Kudlow.
Thanks for having me.
Under the Trump administration, America has had undisputed economic success. However, according to your website, liberalnewsmedia.com, you've stated that it is not Trump to be accountable for this economic growth. Why is that?
In terms of the business cycle, when a president takes office at the bottom of a recession and with unemployment at a high rate, they can achieve a lot of growth just from the natural healing of the economy. When they take office at the top, there's nowhere to go but down. Shortly after Trump took office, the unemployment rate was at 4.7%, and currently it is at 3.9%, the lowest it has been in a decade. Trump took credit for this decline, but it's just a natural part of the business cycle since in October of 2009, the unemployment rate peaked at 10%, and the only way to restore equilibrium is for the rate to decline. In terms of wages, real median wages for all workers have been steadily rising since 2014. In the last quarter of 2017, they plunged below their rate when Trump took office, but have since recovered to about the same level, which supports my claim about the natural flow of the business cycle.
However, what about past presidents? Are they to be accountable for their own economic successes and failures?
Well, historically, economic growth has been due to other factors that the presidents had no influence in. In 1948, only 33% of American women between 25 and 54 worked or actively sought out work. By the time George W. Bush took office in January of 2001, that had risen to about 77%. That means that throughout the second half of the 20th century, the economy had a huge tailwind, as millions of women joined the workforce. Another example would be the baby boom generation that entered the labor force from the 1960s to the 1980s and are now retiring. Now there's a large millennial generation coming into the workforce too. As you can see, a big part of economic growth that might take place during a given presidency is determined by forces not under any politician's control. The Federal Reserve raises and lowers interest rates in an effort to prevent recessions and maintain low inflation. The president appoints its 7-member board of governors, but the Fed system is designed to maintain independence from the administration once the appointments are made. So when a president appoints Fed officials who are effective stewards of monetary policy and achieve their goals of maximum employment, stable prices, and financial stability, it helps the president's odds of having an impressive economic record, but it is not a direct exertion of power.
Thanks so much for meeting with me today, Emily. Today we have with us Roberta Schamberg and the Pooch. Roberta Schamberg, what is your opinion on the current state of the economy?
The economy has a natural business cycle. The economy naturally goes into times of expansion and times of recession. The president does not have control over these natural flows of business cycles. However, the president can sometimes help to manage the degree at which the economy expands or contracts using reforms. In President Trump's case, he has used tactics such as cutting taxes and derailing that we usually see during times of recession in order to try to boost the economy. Indeed, history and economics tells us that a recession is inevitable, but that the higher the bubble, the greater the fall afterwards. Although no one can say for sure when it will happen or how exactly it will behave, it will happen. While at the moment, Trump's policies have grown our economy significantly, there will be corresponding consequences to fall. We have never before seen what happens when these economic strategies are put in place during expansion.
Thank you so much for meeting with us today, Roberta.
The pleasure's all mine, homeboy.
Today, we've heard many competing positions. Some, such as the president's economic advisor, argues that the president is a herald of change and glory for the economy. However, others, such as Emily, from liberal news media, argues he has no real impact over the economy. However, the reality of the situation is a combination of both of them. Yes, the economy is in a natural expansion cycle. However, as we have learned from our expert, Roberta Schamberg, Trump's is helping augment the economy. His economic policies, his budget cuts, etc., have helped push the bubble up to new heights. However, as bright as this current moment is, we should all fear the dark, dark recession that may come afterwards. Signing off, 60 Minutes.
We have launched an unprecedented economic boom, a boom that has rarely been seen before. There's been nothing like it. We have created 5.3 million new jobs and importantly added 600,000 new manufacturing jobs, something which almost everyone said was impossible to do. But the fact is, we are just getting started.
Later on, we are to fear that. However, the reality of the situation is something. Stop! Why are you laughing so hard? However, I just can't say however anymore. Okay, no, I can do this.
Okay, ready? However.
Why do you gotta say that? Okay. Both of these people. Stop! See, that's not. However, god damn it! Stop saying that! Fuck.
I caught that on camera.